Hi there, welcome. Thank you for being here. I was all set up to do my live video out on our farm, which is so gorgeous today, and the internet connection wouldn't work. I actually did one live video out there. It worked fine, and then when I went to start this one, it wouldn't let me, so I'm a little late in the time I said, but let's get going, because if you see this, you're watching the replay anyway. Today's live video is all about branding, or it's the start of our talk on branding. I had a new blog post go up this morning. In there is a link to a free branding bundle that you'll want to get your hands on. It's got the 3 tools that will get you started for free building your brand. Let's talk first, though, about what a brand is not. So a lot of farmers will contact me and say, hey, do you know a great designer, because I need to spend money and work on my farm branding. Well, branding is free. It is not your logo. It's not your website. It is not fancy marketing materials. It is not expensive anything. You are your brand. The problem you solve or the goals you help people reach with your product is your brand. The relationships you build with people is your brand, and the experience around your product is your brand. Many people think that their brand is the best grass-fed beef on earth, or the best raw milk, or having organic, chemical-free flowers from the garden, or vegetables. They think that is their brand. But you will never build a profitable farm if you base your branding on having the best of the products you raise, because there's way too much competition for that, and people don't buy because you have the best product. They buy because of you. They know that they like you, they trust you, and they can get to know you through the internet. It could be Facebook or Instagram. It doesn't even have to be in person. But when you're starting out your farm, your branding does need to be in person. And then those people, you will move them online, but start in person. All right, Jenna says, I have your advice running through my head all the time. Jenna, thank you so much. Jenna's local. And Jenna, I want to come see your farm, especially you just had new baby pigs. Yay, I can't wait. So Jenna's an example. Her and her husband started their farm in the last couple years. So you are your branding. I want to use some specific examples. Some of us think that because Coca-Cola is a huge brand and they have a recognizable logo, well, then that's what we need to do. But again, it's not. That worked years ago, so that's fine, but that's not what you're going to be building as a brand. Your brand is your relationship. Nike is going through this right now. Their sales are suffering because there are all these little mom and pop shoe shops starting up that build really great relationships with people, and they are cutting into Nike's business. And many of us would think that, oh, I wish I had gotten the swoosh for my brand, hamburger with a swoosh, just like Nike, so I could have that huge recognizable brand. That's not it. It's you and your relationship. So what's happening with Nike is all these little mom and pop shoe companies are cutting into their profits. They're having a hard time because there's no person behind the brand anymore. They've gotten too big and disconnected. If they had people out there in the crowds, walking the streets, being brand ambassadors and building relationships with people, then they could compete with those small little mom and pop shoe shops that are doing that. So you and I and our little farms, or our big farms if the case may be, but family owned, are an example of those mom and pop shops who build that relationship. So it starts with you and knowing who it is you're selling to. You can't sell to everybody. Everybody does not want your product, and you can't be friends with everybody. And if you try to sell to everybody, you won't sell to anybody. Pick a few people that you want to build deep relationships with, and that is your key to your profitable farm. Now, I'm going to use an example. Yeah. Oh, good. Jenna said she'd love to have us out, so we will do that. My husband would love to come too and check in on you guys anyway. So I'm going to use an example of one of our marketing students who many of you know already because she is very helpful in this group, and that's Lori Jo Hernandez. She took my marketing course maybe a year and a half ago before she started our farm. And then you get to retake the course for free every time. So, you know, she's gone through it about 4 times now. She has this down as good as anyone I know. So what I mean by that is she does not have fancy, she has a nice, simple logo. She has nice, simple, I'm going to show you some of her stuff in a minute, but it's simple. It is not expensive. It is not, she did not pay $5,000 to a designer to create anything. And she does not go on Instagram and Facebook and say, buy my Dahlia tubers, which is what we bought. She doesn't do that. Instead, when you look at her Instagram, she is talking to her ideal customer. Just like when you get the branding bundle, you will learn how to do. You talk to your ideal customer. You know, your Instagram, you have a grid there of 9 photos. So I want 8 of those photos to be you talking to your ideal customer and relating with her and talking about the things she's interested in. All right, and I teach you how to do that. And then when you finally have a post that says, hey, guess what? I'm selling some Dahlia tubers, you're going to sell out. So I got this box in the mail, and it's kind of interesting. I am not the gardener in my family. My husband is, but this is an example of how branding works. He noticed this lady, Lori Jo, commenting on my posts on my Instagram account maybe a year ago. So he followed her because it seemed like we had a connection, a relationship, because she was talking to me in her face, and I felt like she was talking to me in her Instagram post. So he's following her post, and he sees a picture of her husband in her garden, and he knows she's talking to him and me because, I mean, it just comes across as she's talking exactly to us because she keeps referencing things in her emails and on her website and in her social media that we get. So he never would have heard of her small little farm. When he orders his garden things, he orders from Baker Seeds and big companies like that. But he made it a point when he saw on her Instagram account, after several relationship building posts, talking to her ideal customer, and then it says, oh, you can have some of my Dahlia tubers if you want. He placed an order. And then we got the order last night, and her relationship building does not end with you placing the order. And this is what I want in your farm stores too, or at your farmer's market booth. The relationship doesn't end when they purchase something. It has to keep going, because remember, you're your brand. So then we get this beautiful handwritten thank you note from Lori Jo. It helps that her handwriting is perfect. I know she got an A in that in grade school, which I did not. And it has a picture of a flower directly, you know, from her garden. And I hope my husband ordered this variety because this is so pretty. So it's a handwritten thank you note. And then there's a pack of sunflower seeds that we did not order. This is just for fun. She hand wrote on the back, from our garden to yours. Now imagine if you're selling a fresh chicken and the person gets home and there's a little thank you note with that chicken. We do this. We have pictures of from the farm, and we'll send a little thank you note that says, thanks for buying our chicken. I hope your family loves this when they eat it. And, you know, we just send a little thank you note. So imagine they open the dozen eggs and there's a thank you note in there. So with her, these little pack of sunflower seeds were free. She collected them from her garden last year. This didn't cost very much. These little sticky labels didn't cost very much. You know, so for a free thing, she now has my husband as a customer for life. And I can tell you this, just like on your farm, it doesn't matter what she sells, he will buy it from her. So that's what branding is too. When it is you and it is your relationship with the person, this is especially good for farms, because when you run out of chicken and you are the brand, they don't care what else you have for sale. They're going to buy it. We get that all the time. Someone will come out for raw milk. I'll say, well, I'm sorry, we're sold out. And they'll say, oh, well, what else can I buy? I really like you. I want to buy from you. That is a brand. And you can sell anything. You can shift gears on your farm. You can go from raising just pastured chickens to raising grass-fed beef, or selling essential oils. And because you are your brand, you will sell out at a profit. All right. So I want to keep going in Lori Jo's box, because it didn't stop at the beautiful thank you note that I'm going to put on my bulletin board. It didn't stop at the free packet of sunflower seeds that were amazing. She also put some maple syrup in there. And this is like over the top. Now, again, She raised this on her farm. She could sell this and make some money, but it really didn't cost her much. And my husband went crazy for this because we don't have maple syrup in Oregon. I mean, you know, we have to buy it. And so to have fresh maple syrup from his new friend's farm in Michigan, he hid this from my daughter. She eats a pancake every morning before school. And he took it out of the box before she could see it. And he said, this I'm going to save for a special occasion, which means he's going to eat it. So anyway, I know Carla, isn't she great? So I hope she's watching. I told her I was going to use her in here. So this free stuff, and I don't mean using this as an example of branding doesn't mean that I expect you to give free stuff, okay? I don't expect you to give free product away. But what I want you to give away is the relationship. That comes first. Before a fancy logo or a fancy website or anything, you've got to get out and talk to people one-on-one. Ask them to be on your email list because you're going to give them something, you know, your lead magnet of free recipes or whatever, a free gift for them, and they will be customers for life. So this is a perfect example, this box of goodies we got, of an obscure one-woman show in Michigan who is just making a killing out there because of her relationship building skills and her that she learned. She didn't know that, I mean, you know, she knew how to build relationships, but she learned how to leverage them using online skills that we teach and also in person, and build this brand that's going to take over the world, all right? And Carla Phillips, you're going to do the same thing. You know, handwritten notes are so heart-touching. She said, Carla owns a raw milk dairy here close to me. So what I do, Carla, when I have a fresh cow, I have tons of extra milk, and I know it's short-lived, so I don't want a ton of new customers because I'm going to have to say goodbye to them in a couple months. So I make little teeny jars of butter half this size. You know, the little ones that hold, what is it, half a cup? I make butter and I freeze them. And when we have a reason to give a customer a gift, they get a free little teeny jar of butter, and you would think I gave them $100 bill. That's how important these little teeny tiny things are. So whatever your farm is, what can you give? Not products, but a handwritten thank you note that every one of our customers get, or just even a heartfelt Instagram post, a heartfelt email. Remember, you're your brand, so know who it is you're selling to. Again, I've got the branding bundle. It's a free thing. I'll put in the link in here. You can click on it, and you will get the 3 most important tools that you will need to start creating your brand. It's going to teach you how to identify your ideal customer and what problems you solve for them. All right, so let me see. I made some notes. I want to make sure. Okay, so I don't think I talked about this in here. Right now, when I scroll through Instagram, because I follow a ton of farmers, I'm sure you do too, I'm seeing all the farmers in my area tell people, sign up for our CSA. Okay, so all the CSA farmers I follow are saying, sign up, it's time to order your shares. Well, it's not, you know, people get ad blindness when they see those things. Instead, these people should be putting posts up that are building relationship and talking to that ideal customer, that dream customer, you know, that show their family around the table and saying, hey, I made the most wonderful dinner tonight with broccoli and not one of my kids complained. Wouldn't that be amazing if all our kids would just eat all their vegetables and never complain? What do you do to help that happen? You know, when you have those engaging relationship building posts or emails, blog posts, wherever that might be, that is what makes people want to buy from you, want to buy your CSA, not an email or a blog post that says buy our CSA. All right. Okay. So, and then take that experience from Nike. They're going through hard times right now because all these little mom and pop shoe shops that are really great at relationship building are cutting into their sales. So you are your brand. You get out there and talk to people, and you are it. It stops with you. It's not your logo, your website, or your fancy schmancy artwork you had done or anything. It's just you, little old you. All right. So Take care, everyone. And I'm going to have part 2 of this branding video too on Thursday. All right. And be sure to get your branding bundle. Just click the link to get that. Okay. Thank you. Let me see if I can end this. Have a great day. It's sunny where we are. Hope it is where you are.